So, come on in, everybody. We see you out there. It's time for Comics by Night. We are live. Last week we weren't. This week we are. If you're out there, let us know. Hit that chat button. Chat's live. Got a great book we're going to start looking at. It's the start of 2026. Come on in, folks. Somebody's talking. Come on in, folks. All right, I guess we're going to run the show. We'll get it going. Don't know where Glenn is, but he might catch up. All right, here we go. Which one? That one.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory. What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
Just the way it is this morning. Started running the wrong one. Come on in, folks. Comics by Night. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at. I'm in the middle of Michigan. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I've been doing comics for many decades. Latest gig right now is The Shadow Kingdom and the Atlantean that I am writing, that Russ Leach over there is drawing. So having a blast doing it. The adventures, great sword and sorcery tales of Cull and Brule as they travel the lands looking to rid their world of shape-shifting lizard people. As one does. Yeah. And we hope you get a chance to find a copy. Issue 4 is currently deep in production. Issue 5 script is currently being written. And the first three episodes are available at where all fine books are sold. You can order it through anybody that orders through the Ingram ordering system, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. CriticalBlast.com has it. Hope you can get a copy. We do crowdfund campaigns through fundmycomic.com. And you can expect the campaign for number 4 probably, towards the end of February, right?
1st of March, I think we'll go.
1st of March. All right. Joining me this morning is my cohort, artist friend, Russ Leach. Russ, please introduce yourself.
Morning. My name's Russ Leach. I'm an artist from the UK. And as Randy said, we're all working on the Atlantean at the moment. So festivities are at an end and it's time to get on board. So if you want to find out more about it, go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list. There's lots of people on there already eager to find out what's coming next. Won't be long. You can buy all 3 books plus the original starting project that we put together, an adaptation of The Shadow Kingdom. You can buy all those on Amazon at the moment. But if you want to find out more, like I say, just keep up to date with russleach.com. Sign up for that email list.
Yeah. There's The Shadow Kingdom. Right there. Shadow Kingdom's available in multiple formats as well. And also joining us this morning, making a rare appearance to the show, Mr. Mara V. Good morning.
Look at you, Batman. Yes.
Great Batman pajamas.
Yeah, this is one of my jams.
That's right.
Yeah, great to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Got to stay warm. Yep.
Yeah. Very cold in Portugal right now.
You guys get snow over there?
I'm in the coast, so very rarely. Last time was in 1987. It was a Wednesday.
Really?
I was having Portuguese class, but I skipped school that day.
My last time for snow was this morning. Still up there, dust on the ground.
When I used to live in Paris, and when I was a kid, during the week of my birthday in December, that was insane for me. That was wonderful to get up in the morning and watch the snow, and I miss those days because it was magical. Yeah.
But just make Paris look prettier.
Yeah. Now it's a shithole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of European cities are now. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a terrible pity. There you go. We had some snow today as well. Not a lot, just a little bit. So
fantastic.
It's a dusting. It's like
just literally just a dusting on the rooftops, and then it's. I went out for a walk. I do an hour's walk in the morning before I have my breakfast, and yeah, it was very pretty out there in the countryside.
Cool. Yeah. On the Upper Peninsula here in Michigan, they got 3 feet a couple days ago.
That's snow.
They don't just dig out. They dig in. That's what it is.
They dig in. Yeah.
Yeah. The big university up there has tunnels that travel, so they don't have to worry about the snow. You can just go from your dorm to your classroom underground. Screw the snow.
Yeah, I think most universities these days have a tunnel digging course.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
That's Elon. What can you say? All right, folks. We are going to do this Batman book. Batman from the 30s. Oh, wait. Before we do that, we should have Marvy introduce himself. Sorry, Marvy. Didn't mean to. Introduce yourself, Marvy.
Hi, I'm Marvy. I'm the creator of The Sim Killer, and right now I'm working on a short story called Deadliest Catch. Everything will be done traditionally. I'm working on page 3 right now. And
nice. Cool.
Thank you. I'm having lots of fun right now. It's very excited about this. And yeah, I'm from Portugal, and yeah, today I'm not working, and I'll do my best to continue and finish page 3 today. So, but I had to come here, so it's been a while.
It is what, about 10 in the morning there where you're at?
Yeah, just like Russ. Yes.
Yeah. Only you took today off, huh? You get a long extended weekend.
Yeah, thank God, because I've been working overtime Saturdays and during the week, and it's been crazy out there. Lots of work at the factory sanding, and finally the boss said, "Okay, let's take a few days off," and I really appreciate
it. Your boss probably knew he wasn't going to be in any shape to work.
It's going to be crazy next week, but
I'll see you Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go home. I'll see you Monday. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Batman from the 30s to the 70s. We looked at Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Same volume, same company. Done back in the early 70s. Look at that great Carmine Infantino and Murphy Anderson cover. How can you go wrong with that?
Oh wow. That's the cover I was asked to reproduce for my first ever Batman gig.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. I'll dig. Hold on, I'll just dig it out quickly. Hold on, so you can see.
That would be fun, considering you got to do your own version of the characters.
Yeah. It was. What was the cover? Output.
Classic stuff.
There we go. Share screen. There it is. There you go. So that was my version of the characters in the same.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was specifically asked to do that by editorial, so that was great. That was really good. It was my contribution to the legacy, as it were.
Homage to the classic.
An
cover.
homage. Yeah, an homage to a classic. Yes, an homage to a classic. So, yeah, it's been sold now. Somebody else has it.
Classic piece, though.
I didn't get as much as this one would go for.
Yeah. I don't know. I just saw the Heritage auctioned off the famous Japanese painting, The Wave. The Blue Wave. Yeah. It was fun to see them go up in $500,000 increments.
Yeah. Yes.
Now it's 13.5 million. Do I hear 14? Yeah. I'm not doxing myself here. I have my address up here in the corner, but it's an address from like 60 years ago. 50 years
So
ago.
if you go back in time, you can get him.
Yeah, go back in time. You can find me wasting away in my room at my parents' house. Yeah. Dedication by Carmine Infantino. That's not a real signature. Wish it was.
Yeah.
Grand table of contents. Introduction by E. Nelson Bridwell. Very famous DC writer. Another iconic cover. Batman number 1.
Yeah.
Speaking of iconic golden age covers, this Sunday on Sunday Funnies, we're going to be looking at a book I've had for almost as long as I've had the Superman from the 30s to the 70s. That is the Golden Age of Comics.
Wow.
By Richard O'Brien. Collected covers and notes. It's a nice art book. It's got this cover in it as well. Very sweet. Even though Bob Kane signed it, I doubt he did the artwork for it. It's usually Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson doing the work.
Bob Kane, yeah.
Bob Kane. The Batman. When Bob Kane first drew the Batman, he was in a red and yellow outfit.
Yeah.
Oh, like Daredevil.
Yeah. Very much so. It took was it Jerry Robinson? Jerry Robinson said he needs to be in darker clothing and needs to be more of a mysterious bat. Looking through this book yesterday, the one thing that really impressed me is the early art style here that they're using. Jerry Robinson or Bill Finger, I think it's Jerry Robinson here, has got a real hard underground feel to it, especially the early underground comics. The old Tijuana Bibles has this kind of a feel, a style to it. It's Golden Age look. So they can trace Batman's origin back to early pulp magazines, the Black Bat, the Bat. There's a
Bat in the Hat.
Great Bat in the Hat. Yeah. It's a great shadow story out there that's got a Joker type character in it that they say that Finger lifted the plot from for the Joker. Here's the first Batman story.
So
did Finger had his name in the movies? I don't believe he had, right?
I think he got credit at the end. Bill and Jerry Robinson got credit at the end of the Batman films. I'm not sure though,
because I still remember the beginning of the Arinan one, and I don't think his name is there even in the second one.
Yeah, well, have to go back and look. Comic history is so clouded because nobody thought any of this stuff would be relevant.
No.
60 years later, that'd be making $1 billion movies. Well, they're still not making those, but that's a whole other story.
I love that panel.
Again, a classic 2-pager. Very iconic.
Yeah.
Criminals are a superstitious and cowardly lot. I was just watching New Frontier, the Darwin Cook version of DC Silver Age, and they were showing how why Batman picked up Robin. It was kind of interesting when Batman's first introduced in the cartoon. He's scaring everybody to death, and he comes up on an innocent victim, which is a little kid that was kidnapped, and the kid's freaking because he's scared of Batman, so he decides to get a kid sidekick and lighten up his costume. Says, I meant to scare criminals, not innocent victims.
It's just as well he just didn't decide to get someone dressed as a clown for them.
There you go.
Oh, kids are scared of me. I know what I'll do. I'll just get a clown on board. It'll be fine.
That's the Joker, though. That's his responsibility. Here's the first Joker story.
Black and white. Nice.
We jump into black and white. Yeah. And again, this is almost, it's not the style here doesn't remind me that much of Golden Age comics as much as it does the underground movement from the late 60s on this stuff. It straightens out real quick, and especially once Dick Sprang comes in and you get these guys that just draw it for years. Look at this. Almost with it being in black and white, and almost gives it an independent comic feel to it, especially with the style that they're using. Great first Joker story. He goes on the radio and tells everybody that some particular judge or some high official is going to die at a certain time, and they go to his house and they guard him and they wait for the Joker to appear, and the guy dies right at the time that the Joker said he would. He comes in after the fact. So what the cops didn't realize is that the Joker was sneaking in the night before and poisoning the victim. Kind of clever. This is long before superhero dynamics. You got a lot of the comics are very much a beginning art form. Comic strips in the newspapers are raging. It's one of the main sources of entertainment at this point, the newspapers. It takes decades to get the dynamics down, and inventive people to come in like Kirby and that to define the genre. But in the meantime, they're really coming off of old pulp magazines and adventure strips like Flash Gordon, The Phantom. It's real popular at this point. Shadow on the radio and in pulp magazines is really popular. 1936, I believe. It's the year the story first started. It's 1940 for the origin story here. I think that ran in Batman 1. Like everything, it took them a little bit to realize the spring issue. Yeah, it took them a little bit to realize they had a big hit on their hands. There's some of the covers from the 40s. In color, Two-Face comes in. Joker returns. So popular. They kept killing him off at the end of every story, and he kept coming back. Throw him off a bridge, kill him, have him do whatever, and he'd still end up back. Detail here.
Yeah, that panel is incredible.
Yeah.
No background whatsoever.
There's Batman and Robin. Right. Joker, I'm the ace in the hole. And that's for the sock on the head. Bill Finger solidifying his style here. So a little bit later, this is 1943. Story here with Alfred. This is after Batman's been out for 7 years or so, real popular. Still doing everything by hand, ruling them panel borders. Not even using any kind of rule for the balloons, it looks like. It's all done by freehand.
Wow.
Balloons look. There we go. So we're just going to keep pouring through this, folks. It's a comic strip, still technically in its infancy at this point. The adventure strips are raging strong, and Detective Comics picks up original material. One of the first comics to do that, and a lot of that original material are comic strips that were reformed or rejected and cut into comic pages. That face. By this point, Batman's got a definite style to his look. I believe it's Finger or Robinson. Robinson probably is drawing at this. We looked at a great book about Robinson's career a while back. Became a great commercial artist after his gig here with comics. An editorial cartoonist. It's another early Batman story. Dr. Death, Hugo Strange. I think this is the first Hugo Strange. This was 1939. So they're not exactly printing them here in chronological order.
The lettering continues to be insane. All this text.
Yep. But again, they didn't trim it down back then. This is like Detective 29 or 30, I think. This is the one with the big bat. Batman on the cover. See if they reproduce that here. This one. So that's Detective. What is that? 31. That's the cover for that story.
What camera are you on, Randy? Because it's a little blurred.
Logitech again. It's the same camera.
Yeah, no, your settings.
I think we're at where we were before. I haven't really changed anything. Let me look.
Because it's.
You never know with StreamYard though.
Yeah, I thought it was in my end because I've been having problems with the StreamYard, so I haven't said anything because of that.
That's better. There you go.
You're right. It was set low.
Yeah.
Gonna have to go in and double check that every time now. Thanks, StreamYard. We can tighten in on it just a little too.
Okay. Now I can put it bigger. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
Much better. Sorry, folks. Let's still come down on it a little.
You can see how quite simple this artwork is in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And the lettering is. I'm glad Glenn isn't here to see this lettering.
This lettering's really bad, but this is a very early Batman story here too. This is like the second or third one they ever did. You can tell by his mask. Look at where them ears are.
Is Finger known by doing anything else than Batman, or he was exclusively working on this character?
I think that was it. He might have done some other stuff for DC at one point, but I don't think he did much other than Batman. I think he got disgruntled, especially working around Bob Kane. Here, just a second here. We'll look it up.
Nice.
There we go. Bill Finger, American Comics writer. Finger was the writer, so that would be Robinson doing the artwork. Was born January 8th, 1914. Co-created DC Comics character Batman with Bob Kane, despite making major, sometimes signature contributions as an innovative writer, visionary, mythos, world builder, and illustration architect. Finger, like other creators of the era, was often erroneously attributed to ghostwriter status on many comics he actually created or co-created, including those featuring Batman and the original Green Lantern. Recent years, Finger's lost legacy has been restored. Kane privately admitted in an 80s audio interview that his autobiographer that Finger was responsible for 50 to 75% of all the creativity in Batman. He publicly denied Finger had been anything more than a subcontractor executing Kane's ideas for decades. As a result, Finger died in obscurity and poverty, while the Batman brand and Kane amassed international fame and wealth. In the 2000s, Finger biographer Mark Tyler Nobleman's research uncovered previously unknown heirs. At the urging of Nobleman, the online comics fan community, and others, Finger's granddaughter revived the fight to restore his lost legacy, which continued for years. In 2015, DC Comics' parent company conditionally agreed to recognize Finger's intellectual property claim as co-creator of the Batman characters and mythos, officially adding his name going forward to the created by credit line. Kane had been contractually guaranteed since 1939.
Yeah, that makes me sick thinking about.
Why do people do that.
Just one example of many. Comics has always been a sleazy business, and there's always been scummy people working in the industry that either through ego or greed take advantage of the talent. It's just the way it's always been.
Yeah, we always talk about the corporate part of things, and we never think about the personal part, like this friendship or collaboration that is being, torn apart by greed. We only hear the part of the big company and never the creators, the relationship between them, and that's worse than the companies.
Yeah, at least the corporates are simply there. They're cutthroat. You know what they're about. When creators do it to each other, it's sickening.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
it's worse. It's worse. Yeah.
Early the comics aspiring writer, part-time salesman Finger joined Kane's Hascent Studio in 38 after having met Kane, a fellow DeWitt Clinton alumni, at a party. Kane later offered him a job ghostwriting the strips Rusty and Clip Carson. So early the following year, National Comics' success with the seminal superhero Superman and Action Comics prompted editors to scramble for similar heroes. In response, Kane conceived the Batman. Finger recalled of Kane that Kane had an idea for a character called Batman, that he'd like me to see the drawings. I went over to Kane's and he had drawn a character who looked very much like Superman with kind of reddish tights, I believe, with boots, no gloves, no gauntlets, with a small domino mask swinging on a rope. He had two stiff wings that were sticking out looking like bat wings, and under it was a big sign that said Batman. Finger offered such suggestions as giving the character a cowl with pointed ears instead of a domino mask, a cape instead of wings, adding gloves, and changing the red sections of the costume to gray. Finger later said his suggestion to have his eyes covered by white lenses was influenced by Lee Falk's popular The Phantom, a syndicated newspaper comic strip character with which Kane was also familiar, and that he advised the name Bruce Wayne for the character's secret identity. Finger said Bruce Wayne's first name came from Robert Bruce, a Scottish patriot. Wayne, being a playboy, was a man of gentry. I searched for a name that would suggest colonialism. I tried Adams, Hancock, then I thought of Mad Anthony Wayne. Kane, decades later in his autobiography, described Finger as a contributing force on Batman's right from the beginning. I made Batman a superhero vigilante when I first created him. Bill turned him into a scientific detective. Nobleman said Bob Kane showed Batman to editor Vin Sullivan without Bill. Vin promptly wanted to run Batman, and Bob negotiated a deal without including Bill. Finger wrote both the single script for Batman's debut in Detective Comics and the character's second appearance in number 28, while Kane provided art. Batman proved a breakout hit. Finger went on to write many of the early Batman stories, including making major contributions to the Joker character. Batman background artist and letterer George Roussos recalled. What was good about Bill was that whenever he wrote a plot, he did a lot of research for it. Whether the setting was a railroad station or a factory, he would find a photo to reference, usually from National Geographic, and gave Bob all the research to draw from. He was very orderly and methodical. The only problem was that he couldn't sustain the work. He couldn't produce material regularly enough. Robin was introduced as Batman's sidekick in Detective 38. When Kane wanted Robin's origin to parallel Batman's, Finger made Robin's parents circus performers, murdered while performing their trapeze act. Finger recalled, Robin was an outgrowth of a conversation I had with Bob. I said Batman was a combination of Douglas Fairbanks and Sherlock Holmes, and Holmes had his Watson. The thing that bothered me was that Batman didn't have anyone to talk to, and it got a little tiresome, always having him thinking. I found that as I went along, Batman needed a Watson to talk to. That's how Robin came to be. Bob called me over and said he was going to put a boy in the strip to identify with Batman, and I thought that was a great idea. Jim Steranko wrote in 1970 that Finger's slowness as a writer led Batman editor Whitney Ellsworth to suggest Kane replace him, a claim reflected in Joe Desri's description of Finger as notoriously tardy. During Finger's absence, Gardner Fox contributed strips that introduced early Bat Arsenal, his utility belt, the Bat Gyro plane, and the Batarang. Upon his return, Finger is credited with providing the name Gotham City. Finger wrote the debut issue of Batman's self-titled comic book series, which introduced the Joker and the Catwoman. Among the things that made his stories distinctive were a use of giant-sized props and large pennies, sewing machines, or typewriters. Finger seemed to avoid having Batman operate out of a cave in the early stories to circumvent being too similar to the Phantom and Zorro. Instead, Finger indicated that Wayne merely used underground hangars on the property to store vehicles. Batcave first appeared in 1943 Columbia serial starring Lewis Wilson, and the comics followed suit thereafter. Donald Clow Cameron created the concept of Batman having a trophy section in the Batcave. One of the prevalently featured trophies in Batman's Batcave, the giant replica of a Lincoln penny, was introduced in a story written by Finger. He was one of the writers of the syndicated Batman comic strip from 43 to 46. Actually, that giant penny was from a Two-Face story.
Mhm.
Eventually, Finger left Kane's studio to work directly for DC, where he supplied scripts for characters including Batman and Superman, a part of the Superman mythos, which had originated on the radio program, made its way to the comics when Kryptonite was featured in a story by Finger and Al Plastino in Superman number 61. As writer of the Superboy series, Finger created Lana Lang, a love interest for the teenage superhero. Continuing his Batman work, he and artist Sheldon Moldoff introduced Ace the Bat Hound in Batman number 92. In June of 55, Batmite in Detective Comics 267, Clayface in Detective Comics 298, and Betty Kane, the original Batgirl, in Batman number 139. Finger created All Winners Squad and All Winners Comics number 19 for Timely.
Wow.
All Winners Comics, yeah. Provided an account. The creation of the Joker was Robinson or Kane, who initiated, unsure if it was Robinson or Kane, if it initiated the concept. Got a call from Kane. He had a new villain. When I arrived, he was folding a playing card. Apparently, Jerry Robinson or Bob, I don't recall who, looked at the card, and they had an idea for a character, the Joker. Bob made a rough sketch of it. At first, it didn't look much like the Joker. It looked more like a clown, but I remembered that Gossett and Dunlap formerly issued a very, very cheap editions of classics by Alexander Dumas and Victor Hugo. The volume I had was The Man Who Laughs. His face had been permanently operated on so that he will always have a perpetual grin, and it looked absolutely weird. I cut the picture out of the book and gave it to Bob, who drew the profile and gave it a more sinister aspect. Then he worked on the face, made him look like a little clown-like, which accounted for his white face, red lips, green hair, and that was the Joker. Finger also suited the creation of the Penguin, was fully in the same interview, outright refuting Kane's claim. Oh, I never came off a package of Cools. I happened to be looking at an old copy of the old Saturday Evening Post that had an article on the Emperor Penguin. It had photographs of Emperor Penguins waddling about. To me, they looked exactly like portly Englishmen in their way to their private clubs. Naturally, when you think of an Englishman, you think of the perpetual umbrella. So I decided to make a character who, well, can't be just an umbrella. I decided to gimmick them. I gave him a top hat, make him looking like the Englishman, and gave him 1,000 umbrellas. Gimmicked. Alas, we have the penguin. Finger created the Scarecrow, and it is believed that Kane penciled his first appearance. Kane created Two-Face, and Finger expanded his characterization in the first script for Detective Comics 66. The Riddler was created by Finger and designed by Dick Sprang in issue number 140. The Calendar Man was another villain created by Finger with input from Kane. There's the first Robin story. Yep. He also collaborated with Martin Nordell on Green Lantern. Alan Scott, both writer and artist, received a byline on the strip. Nordell in the earliest issues using the pseudonym Mart Dellin. According to Nordell, Finger was brought in to write scripts after Nordell had already conceived the character. Nordell recalled in an undated latter day interview. As a screenwriter, Finger wrote or co-wrote the films Death Comes to Planet Aten, The Green Slime, and Track of the Moon Beast, and contributed scripts to the TV series Hawaiian Eye and 77 Sunset Strip. He and Charles Sinclair wrote the two-part episode The Clock King's Crazy Crimes and The Clock King Gets Crowned, airing October 12th through 13th, 1966, in season 2 of the live-action Batman TV series. It was his first public credit for any Batman story. Wow. Bob Kane negotiated a contract with National that signed away ownership of the character in exchange for, among other compensations, a sole mandatory byline on all Batman comics and adaptations thereof. Finger's name, in contrast, didn't appear in an official credit on Batman stories or films until 2015. Finger began receiving limited acknowledgement for his writing work in the 60s. The letters page of Batman 169, for example, features editor Julia Schwartz naming Finger as a creator of the Riddler. Additionally, Finger did receive credit for his work for National sister company All American Publications during that time. For example, the first Wildcat story in Sensation Comics #1 has the byline by Erwin Hasen and Bill Finger. And the Green Lantern story, see above, is credited to Matt Dellin and Bill Finger. National later absorbed All American. National's practice in the 50s made formal bylines rare in comics, with DC regularly granting credit only to Kane. William Moulton Marston, creator of Wonder Woman, ran his pseudonym Charles Moulton and to Sheldon Mayer. In 1989, Kane acknowledged Finger as a contributing force to the character's creation and wrote, "Now that my longtime friend and collaborator is gone, I must admit that Bill never received the fame and recognition he deserved. He's an unsung hero."
What a nice.
Yeah, nicely done. Once he's dead, yeah, he's scumbag.
Yeah.
I often tell my wife, I go back 15 years before he died. I would like to say, I'll put your name on it now. You deserve it. Comics historian Ron Goulart referred to Batman as the creation of artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger. Finger's contemporary artist and writer Jerry Robinson, who worked with Kane from the beginning, said Bill had more to do with the molding of Batman than Bob. He just did so many things at the beginning, creating almost all of the characters, the whole persona, the whole temper. Batman inker George Roussos, another contemporary, said Bob Kane had rough ideas, but Bill was the man behind Batman. A DC Comics press release in 2007 said Kane, along with writer Bill Finger, had just created Batman for predecessor National Comics. Likewise, DC editor Paul Levitz wrote The Dark Knight Detective, debuted in Detective 27, the creation of Bob Kane, Bill Finger. Writer John Broome and penciler Gil Kane created the comic book villain William Hand, aka Black Hand, as a tribute to Finger, whom the character's name and likenesses were based. So if you ever see the Green Lantern villain Black Hand out there, it's actually Bill Finger. Penciler. In September 2015, DC Entertainment announced Finger would receive credit on the 2016 superhero film Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice and the second season of Gotham. Following a deal between Finger family and DC, Finger received his first formal credit as a creator of Batman in the October 2015 comic books Batman and Robin Eternal #3 and Batman Arkham Knight Genesis #3. The updated acknowledgement for the penciler appeared as Batman created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Finger was posthumously inducted to the Jack Kirby Hall of Fame in '94 and the Will Eisner Hall of Fame in '99 and '85. DC Comics named Finger as one of the honorees in the company's 50th anniversary publication, 50 Who Made DC Great. In his honor, Comic-Con International established in 2005 the Bill Finger Award for Excellence in Comic Book Writing, which is given annually to 2 recipients, one living and one deceased, who have produced a significant body of work in the comic field. Finger posthumously received an Inkpot Award in 2014. There we go. Now we're getting back to Batman here. Looking like Batman. December 2017, southeast corner of East 192nd Street and the Grand Concourse in the Bronx was named Bill Finger Way. The corner was chosen for its proximity to Pope Park, where Finger and Kane used to meet to discuss their Batman character. Finger is the subject of the Hulu original documentary Batman and Bill, which premiered in 2017. So if you want to know a lot more about Bill Finger, there's a documentary out there on Hulu. He's married twice. Where do we leave off here? He's married twice. His first wife, Portia, had a son, Frederick. After their divorce, Finger married Edith Lynn Simmons in the late 1960s. They were no longer married when he died in '74. Finger was last seen alive January 16th, 1974. His friend and longtime writing partner, Charles Sinclair, found Finger dead in his home on October 18th at the condominium Allen House in 340 East 51st Street in Manhattan. The cause of death was occlusive coronary atherosclerosis. His death was not widely reported at the time. Finger had suffered 3 heart attacks, though it was long believed by Sinclair and others that Finger was buried in an unmarked Potter's Field grave. His body was actually claimed by his son Fred, who honored his wish to be cremated and spread his ashes in the shape of a bat on a beach in Oregon.
Nice.
The first story of the issue, Batman 259, December '74, would be dedicated to Finger's memory. Fred Finger had a daughter, Athena, born 2 years after Bill Finger's death. Fred died of complications from AIDS on January 13th, '92. Athena and her son are his only known living heirs. Her attempts at the prompting of noblemen and comics fans and aided by her attorney half-sister to restore Bill's legacy resulted in Warner Brothers' 2015 decision to officially recognize Finger as co-creator of Batman on film and TV projects going forward. That's Bill Finger. Wikipedia. Wikipedia lists
So
a ton of
unfortunately, nobody continued his legacy, right?
No, he's got, well, his legacy continues with every issue of the Batman.
Yeah, but like the Kuberts and the Ramirez, you know.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't continue on writing. But you know, back then comics were like a bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
occupation. No, Jaco says you're intelligent. I'm just reading Wikipedia. Jacob, thanks for joining us. Looking through some great old Batman stuff here. Still go tighter. This is the first Batman and Robin story.
Yeah, that first panel was great.
Thrills, and more thrills. But the amazing character, the Batman, and the sensational find of Robin, the boy wonder of the comic strips, give you every issue their astonishing exploits. Watch for next month's thrilling episode. Here's a 9-panel grid. This is a 1940 Batman and Robin story. Hollywood. A few more spotted blacks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit noir working. Here's a bong. Oh, come on. Moving stairs. Just going to keep moving on this. Chat's open, folks. Feel free to chime in. We know you're out there. Hit that like button. We got a good audience this morning, but just nobody talking in the chat.
Oh, what a face.
It's Basil Carlo. Look at that lettering. Slanted.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty bad.
It's still young, 1940s yet. Still early on.
Yeah, but he's got some great panels in the story.
Yeah, it's getting better all the time. Here's a Riddler. So he had that crazy question mark costume even back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wears a suit now.
He's kind of got a suit there. That's the TV version suit right there. Frank Gorshin suit. Set up like a crossword puzzle. Looks like. Riddler. Puzzler doesn't come in till later. Get that? He's almost got the Joker's face there. So what the puzzles?
Tonight I shall rob the Eagles West nest.
Yeah.
The Riddler. It's nice of him to sign it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a giant corn cob.
Of course.
As it is. Yep. Higgins canned corn. Dear Batman, here's a corny riddle. Tip you off to my next job. Why is corn hard to escape from? Because it's a maze. Big glass fun maze out at Pleasure Pier Amusement Park. Of course. I'm trapped out here at the end of the pier. I've lost the game. Yeah. Could a question mark came off the Riddler's costume when he drowned, or perhaps he escaped drowning and left it there to puzzle us. Only time will solve that riddle. Wahaha.
The explosion is great. Should have been a bigger panel right there. Yeah.
Should have been. Next, we have the Red Hood.
The art's getting cleaner and cleaner, isn't it?
It is. Yep. Farther along it goes. This is 1952. So Sprang is in this. Russo's.
Batman was very friendly back then.
Oh, yeah. This is right before the code kicked in.
Did Adams had something to do with his character, with his personality, when he started drawing Batman?
Who?
Or he was only making the drawings?
Neil?
Yeah.
You talking Neil Adams?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that was brought in by a lot of those changes was Adams and Denny O'Neil came in.
Okay.
Denny O'Neil was writing the majority of that Batman stuff at that point. Denny went on to be a big editor for both DC and Marvel. Probably the best book on comic book writing that I've read was done by Denny O'Neil. That was part of the DC did a series of books on the different aspects of professional comic book work, and Denny O'Neil did the writing book. It's really good. I think Adams and Giordano did the drawing book. Those books are like next to impossible to find anymore. I've got O'Neill's writing book around here somewhere.
Batman is enjoying being behind that guy.
Yeah. This is right at the start of their crazier period, you know, with the circus on Mars. Just the outlandish stuff that they did during the 50s. Mainly because of the Code Authority. So forcing them not to take comics very seriously.
Have you read the book, The Seduction of the Innocent?
I haven't read it. No, I've only seen a couple of copies,
Oh.
but I haven't read it. I've got a. I've not. It's not really a second edition. Back in the 90s, I think it was. There was another preacher that tried to do another Seduction of the Innocent volume. I've got that. But the original is very hard to come by. I think the only time I've ever seen it was in a glass case. I think Hall of Heroes in Illinois has got a pristine copy of one.
Can be a good show, talking about that book.
Yeah, you hardly ever see him at shows. And actually, the book is all psychobabble nonsense with a couple of comic panels, pointing out that Wonder Woman was a fetishist and Batman and Robin were probably gay, and all of the sharp objects going into people's eyes, and all the, they're just trying to drum up propaganda to explain why they weren't raising their kids right and they were making juvenile delinquents, So they had to blame comics. Then they blamed rock and roll, and they blamed D&D, and now they blame TikTok. It's the origin of the Batcave in 1954. Catching up a lot more. Is Bob Kane still taking claim? Though I doubt he's writing or drawing anything at this point. I'd be stunned if he was.
Okay. Nice plan of the cave.
Yeah.
Don't know quite how he gets the plane out of there.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
He has to turn it around and fly it out the front door. It's the same with the bat boat. He has to run out to the dock where he's got it.
Bat boat, yeah.
Vic Martino in the house. Batman was originally a kind of vigilante. He would kill villains if need be. When they added Robin, it changed to make him more kid-friendly, and he no longer killed. Actually, that was the second issue of Batman. He decided to stop killing. He takes out a giant while he's flying a biplane, uses a gun, and thinks it's too inhumane. So he stops using guns after that point. Also made him different from the Phantom. The Phantom and the Shadow were both running around shooting stuff up. At this point, they were very popular characters. So to have Batman not killing. Because heroes don't kill. Ears at this point getting smaller, almost inconsequential. Just stuck to the side of his cowl like Adam West's ears.
Mm-hmm.
Inking's getting tighter. At this point, there's a lot more style to it.
Yeah, it's got a proper look to it now, hasn't it?
Spraying is coming in at this point. Vic says, yes, he stopped using guns early on, but he did still kill on occasion, if I'm not mistaken. Not randomly, but occasionally. All the villains ended up dying, and a lot of them met, your typical old cinema ending where they would die, fall off a bridge, or appear, like you just saw the Joker. They die at the end of every story and then miraculously come back, and then never explain how they survived.
The pages are more dynamic right now.
Yeah,
Very
better all the time. More silhouettes being used, more variety, more style. There's Batman in the 40s. Here comes Batman in the 50s. Two-face cover there. Is that the Firefly or the Moth? Golly, that strange looking arrowhead of green of Jeremy Cole's Hall of Trophies. I guess everything really happened after all. Oh, exactly. More great covers. First major crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Joker and Luthor are working together, and yet we can't stop. More great Batman covers. Got Joker will be there. Big face in the front. Al Pacino, if I'm not mistaken. Crossover. It's not plastic. Yeah, it is plastic. Doing this. It's Wayne Boring. Hey, PBR in the house. Thanks for stopping by, PBR. Happy to see you here. We are looking through the book Batman from the 30s to the 70s. Classic old book come out in 1972. That 50 years ago. I'm just gonna keep moving. Here we go. Yeah, they put a few little color sections in the book, but most of it's in black and white, mainly for cost effectiveness. There we go. The man who wrote the Joker's jokes. From 1951.
Superman sometimes looked like George Reeve in some panels.
Yeah. Well, they barrel chested him for many decades. Quite a few. Wayne Boring and Al Pacino drew him with a thick chest. Made him look more like a strong man at the circus. Another great crazy Joker. Not quite sure who's doing the artwork. It doesn't look exactly like Sprang to me. Joker escapes capture. Batman left holding bag. Glenn would have a field day with that. Vic says, I have that book there. I have a vast collection of comic books, graphic novels of Batman, not just Batman, also other DC and Marvel superheroes, and others as well, but mostly Batman. Yeah, cool, man.
Nice.
That's why we started doing this podcast, showing off some of this stuff and remind folks how great comics are, especially this old stuff. I also have a book of Superman. I have a book like that of Superman. Yeah. We looked at that a few months ago. But here's the key. Here's one to look for at shows if you didn't have it yet. They also did a Shazam from 30s to the 70s or 40s to the 70s. If you ever run across that book, that's really hard to find. Not easy to find at all. We'll look through that one of these days. And that's got a reprint of the classic Black Adam story in it. First Black Adam, all the firsts are in that book. They did that shortly after they revised Captain Marvel in the 70s. They didn't do one like that for Wonder Woman, which they should have done, but they did do a very large reprint of Peter's early Golden Age work that has a introduction forward in it by Gloria Steinem, who's a big feminist, attributing Wonder Woman to the feminist movement. I also have a book like that. New Crimes of Two-Face. Quite as large as what's in the Batcave.
Getting there.
In there. Really classic stuff. You can see the effect that Chester Gould's Dick Tracy had on Batman as well with the Rogues Gallery. Dick Tracy definitely had it first. See a lot of that influence here too. Vic says, I also have that Captain Marvel. I was going to say that I don't think there's a Wonder Woman one. No, they didn't make one that I'm aware of. Never saw it. But that Gloria Steinem volume is really good. Got a lot of Peter's artwork in it. I do have a similar Dick Tracy book, yeah. And like the first 5 years, I think, of the Dick Tracy strip by IDW and a couple of sparse volumes after that with characters. I don't have them all. I wish I did. That Dick Tracy strip's worth looking through. They've done a couple of really good Dick Tracy collections with some of his more unusual villains in it. What is this? Batman's Frogman outfit.
Wow. Bat frog.
Frog. There you go. It's time for the crime predictor. The next big crime will be the murder of Batman. Oh.
All right. Okay. Predict it.
Look at that crazy computer. A story from 1953. Dick Sprang, probably. Oh, maybe not. Look at that detail. Crazy train. That's a huge change from when we first started out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. There's no way out of this one. That it should be he who helped the terrible prediction come true. We've still one chance without their seeing. I open the valves of those acetylene tanks that stood behind us. It must be a big explosion. Yep. Let's go to the splash for the story Two-Face Strikes Again. We looked at that at the Les Daniels History of Comics book. That was
The hair is just fantastic. The hair is beautifully done.
Yeah.
It's Two-Face again.
Yep.
It's popular. Is that a clown?
Clown?
Down the bottom right.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't notice that.
A rodeo clown or something.
Yeah.
It's a world famous Tarando, world famous clown. Never heard of him.
Clown, known to keep a fabulous diamond stick pin collection in his dressing room. I'll just take them if you don't mind. Get a big shocked look on his Vic says among Batman influences were Zorro and Dracula. It has been said. Yep. I have a good Lee Falk Phantom collection. Cool. Said to be the first superhero, more accurately masked costume crime fighter, created in 36, 2 years before Superman in 38, followed by Batman in 39.
Mm-hmm.
Russ is back in the house. Had to get kicked off. Russ, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Is that Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah, I was looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the 60s Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know if Abe Lincoln was ever in it, but it's the kind of thing that would happen, isn't it? He'd turn up somewhere and it's like, that's Abraham Lincoln. Just putting random people in.
I know they had Abe Lincoln in Star Trek.
Oh yeah, Star Trek, yeah.
Original series, yeah.
I think they started checking up his suit on Two-Face as well.
Who, what?
Checking it up. It's got like different, one side's light and the other side's dark.
Oh, yeah. Here. Yep. Being attacked by giant cue balls.
Of course. Caught him. Great catch.
They still end up getting captured and tied to a giant coin.
Of course.
Two-Face is going to flip right onto a set of a bed of nails or spikes. They're all going to die. So they tie him up. And of course, in true Adam West Batman fashion, Batman and Robin shift their weight. They came up heads up. And that the sharp spikes broke their bonds. So they were able to get free and capture Two-Face.
Oh, my God.
PBR, Happy New Year to Randy and crew. Hope all in chat are doing groovy. Thanks, PBR.
Groovy.
Happy New Year to you as well. It's very impressive how these iconic characters have lasted so many years now and show no signs of ever going to fade away into oblivion. Well, they keep shifting with the time. Either that or they become obscure. You know, they've had plenty of characters come and go. It's just a small handful have that iconic ability like Batman and Superman. Archie. Well, he took the first Batmarine.
Absolute Batman is not doing very well.
Well, that's
Yeah.
I think they're selling. They claim to have sold 300,000 of the latest issue. But
Well, the
I don't
illusion of the number one issue, and now they have this new Joker that looks like an alien, and people are buying those books for the covers, and then they're gonna cancel it because nobody will continue to buy those books.
But at the end of the day, it's an Elseworld, isn't it? It's not part of the main canon. And they've gone on for the Elseworld thing because it's sort of quite popular, and they're leaving the main stuff behind. Nobody's going to buy that stuff. Eventually, it will stop unless you supplant the original character for the absolute character, which you can't really do. It's eventually at some point it's going to fall over. That's the trouble with Elseworld stuff. And then, they did a whole bunch of great Elseworld stuff back in the 90s. And they've just folded the whole lot into the main story, main canon. It doesn't work.
ridiculous.
There you go. Yep. There you go. I don't buy that stuff anymore.
Nope.
I only buy indie books now. And old stuff. I've got
Old stuff. Yeah.
I've got a Hulk Essentials coming today. So looking forward to seeing that.
Got a Hulk issue?
Yeah, Essentials, one of the Essentials books. It's the one where I specifically wanted the run where he first got shrunk down to subatomic size.
Yeah.
That was because I remember that from when I was a kid. So I specifically wanted. So I hunted that out and got that. I got it for 20 quid or something on eBay.
Janella, I think the girl that he meets.
Yeah, something. Jamala, isn't it?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
I know Harlan Ellison created her. So. Then they never used her again. Or they used her very sparingly after.
I think he went back again. He went back again to the subatomic realm at a later date.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I'm not really interested in that. I'm interested in that first run. So
I think they had her enlarged too, and she was running around in Astonishing Hulk. The black.
Oh, maybe that's right. Maybe that's it. They just enlarged her and brought her back in.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked through those books. I do remember them fondly, though. More great Batman. A little bit of a checkerboard pattern working. Is your sound still bad, Russ?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything anyone can do about it. It's StreamYard.
I'm getting kind of a background echo. Have the entire episode.
Yeah. It's like everything's being repeated underwater.
Yeah.
Yes, hideous.
Pretty sure it's StreamYard. I hope it's not on the actual podcast. Absolutely no interest in those. I have absolutely no interest in those absolute stories, but there are certain podcasters were raving about them early on. Never interested me. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Was it Harlan Ellison again? You are entitled to your opinion, but you're entitled to your informed opinion.
Yeah, I think some of those people are being paid to do that.
Oh, I know they are.
That's why I think it's the same with movies.
Yep.
You're always going to get people who just love everything that comes out, and it's like, fine if they're happy, off you go. Like I say, live and let live. Do what you want. Be free. Just don't expect to bloody agree with you.
Just don't trust anything on the internet.
No, don't trust anything anywhere, mate. You can't trust anything. Whether you could in the first place, I question. There it is. There's my whole book. Mine's just turned up at the front door.
Is it an essentials or an epic collection?
It's an essentials. I got an epic collection for Christmas. But yeah, I do love the essentials books. I love the fact they're black and white.
Yeah, same here. Just gonna keep turning here, folks. More black bat plane. Lettering's gotten a lot better. I'm sure this is Dick Sprang. I'm pretty next to positive it is. Batman Indian Chief. Yep, Batman Indian Chief.
Bat Chief.
Bat Chief.
Bat Chief.
Just can't stop looking at the amazing covers that they did. Yeah. Great stuff. I've been trying to tell someone yesterday the comic book store near me was open and they had a huge selection of Gold Key Tarzan in the dollar bin. There you go.
Oh.
I was able to get a good run. There you go.
Oh, man.
For you. I hope they were all Manning Tarzans. You get a little, what's his name? Ed Marsh. That was pretty prevalent in those comics back then. I didn't care for that art style at all. Kind of a thick brush look. But Manning is just amazing. Crazy good. That's something we'll look over here pretty soon is the Manning's Magnus, the robot fighter. Got an archive of that we'll look through. More Bat Chief. And Robin's got a little feather. There he is. Ace the Bat Hound.
Oh my God. I didn't know that one. He's got a secret identity too, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, they have to hide his face in case, somebody goes into the Wayne mansion and sees Ace sitting there. So that they don't draw that connection that Ace is actually Batman's pet.
Yeah. Because dogs are not clones of each other.
Just have to put a cowl on him. Yeah.
Didn't know he had a dog.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He had a dog. He had a bat mite. He had a bat everything during this time. There was a bat girl and a bat woman.
Bat cow.
Bat cow, maybe. Pretty sure there was a bat too.
Bat.
But Superman had they had the whole run. They had the whole zoo. There was a super cat, a super horse, a super monkey, a super turtle, Streaky, super cat.
Oh, Streaky.
That was Supergirl's pet till they gave her Crypto. Yeah, they all went into the future and had Legion of Super Pets. It's pretty crazy. Chameleon Boy's pet, which was a mound of protoplasm that could change its shape, was the leader, named Prody. Seriously. Crypto, Super Monkey, Streaky, Super Cat, Super Horse, and Prody. I can't stop looking at all those great covers, amazing covers. We're about halfway. Almost.
Yeah.
We'll stop at the end of the story. Have a part 2. Part 2 gets crazier. And then Neil Adams.
Oh, man. I will have to watch on the replay. I bet. Oh.
There's the Batwoman. Katie Keene, I think. Katie Keene. I think it is. Anyway. We'll pick up with Batwoman next week. Then Batgirl. Then who knows what else will be coming in. Yeah, we'll stop at 1956. There's a little bit more to go.
Wow.
About halfway.
That was fun.
Bookmark it there. Call it. About halfway. Maybe a little more than halfway. That was Batman from the 30s and the 70s. Actually, Batman from the 30s and the 50s. We'll cover the 50s to the 70s next week, folks. A lot more great stuff on the way. Slightly ripped with that ripped dust jacket. Yeah. Then, like I said, this Sunday at 9 a.m. on Sunday Funnies, we'll be covering the golden age of comic books. Great collection of golden age comic book covers. And if you have a favorite golden age comic book cover, you should let us know what it is. For that, we'll be looking at this book. Coordinated and written by Richard O'Brien. See some great cover layouts then on Sunday. And then next Friday, the rest of Batman from the 30s and 70s.
Yo.
Yep. Marv, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Marvy Mr. Sin. And yeah, I'm posting there some cool stuff like this page of.
There you go.
This is page number 2 of the short story that I'm making now called Deadliest Catch. So this turned out very cool indeed. And yeah, you can find me there. You can follow me, and I'm not posting a lot but when I post cool stuff. So
There you go.
that's it. Thanks for having me once again.
Thanks for being on. Appreciate you being here. Russ, please tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at russlee.com. Go over there, sign up for the email list, and we'll let you know when the Atlantean issue 4 should be going to crowdfunding 1st of March.
All right. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman, and I apologize if the sound quality's been bad. It's been StreamYard, not us.
In all fairness, I don't think that's coming over in the on YouTube. I think it's just us studio.
Okay, well, good. I hope so. Folks, we do this twice a week. We do it because we love doing it. We love looking through old comics, old sequential art, just to remind ourselves how great this stuff is. Great, great stuff, folks. Great individuals all working hard to entertain folks with comics, words, and pictures. No greater form of communication. I don't think there's a more personal form of storytelling other than perhaps songs, writing, that comes close to your ability to what you can do in comics. Just love this art form. We love showing it off. We've been doing it for a while. There's a large collection of archive of our work. You can find it archived over at Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. Go over there and take a look. We've looked at a lot of different art, a lot of different comics from a lot of different ages. Just all great, great stuff, folks. And there's so much more to look at. We're just going to keep doing this till we can't. It makes us better creators. It makes us appreciate this medium, and just makes us better overall. Again, we appreciate you stopping by. We're glad you were in the chat. Our numbers were real solid this morning. We know the majority of our viewership is after the fact. We love you guys too, but please, please, please hit that like button, subscribe to whatever platform you're watching us on. It doesn't cost you anything. We are not monetized. We're not begging for money. We don't have outside sponsors. You're not having to listen to how great it is for you to go out and buy gold or get slabbed comics. All the ads that you see here are either in fun or are advertising our stuff. We ask that if you enjoy this program, you do 3 things. 1, that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment, because every time you interact with this program, you help us with our algorithm. 2, to buy our stuff. If you enjoyed this program, go buy our stuff. Look for our work wherever you can. And 3, most importantly, if you enjoyed this program, do tell your friends so that our audience grows. I know there's a lot more people out there that would enjoy this program if they just knew it existed. So please, if you enjoy this program, let folks know. I think that's it. Is that it?
Yep, we're done. We're
done. We're going to see you on the next one, folks. Don't forget us Sundays, 9 a.m. Eastern time for Sunday Funnies. We'll be back again Friday mornings at 5 a.m. for another episode of Comics by Night. We deeply appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.
Good on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Hi y'all, it's time for Appalachian Word of the Day. The word of the day is marinara. How fast do you think that car get up to? About 120 marinara?
You cannot play that now. No.
Can I pick that dog? Can I pick that dog?
No, he's
Can I pick
sleeping.
that dog? Hello, motherfucker.
It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher.
That's right. There we are. Oh, looking for there it is.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
As he sits each day at his board, alone with his characters, Jack Kirby is far from lonely.
I haven't got the trappings of a circus, but there in my mind is a very active and bright and colorful place that's as good as any circus that I've ever seen. And I live with that, and I enjoy it immensely.
Taste the biscuit, taste the goodness of the biscuit.